in your overwatered lawns.
Oh, David, could be worse. You guys could be a total power failure.
Eat glass.
It's Hard-Headed Sports with Spinny and Fetty Bus. Famous for their podcasts, you can now catch them right here on The Al Travis Show.
We've got with Spinny and Fetty Bus, Hard-Headed Sports. Pick them up wherever you get your podcasts. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Let's just knock it out. I'll start with you, Bus, if you don't mind. Wrap up the Viking season for me. It's over. I almost feel a sense of relief, even though we won 5 in a row on our way out. Your thoughts on the Vikings?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I felt the sense of relief too. It was strange to me to see that we were actually 9-8 winning season. It felt like we were so much worse than that, but we did end on a high note, so that was good to see. But the NFC North was the second division Super Bowl era to have all 4 teams above 500. So pretty good football here in the NFC North.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Spinny, the North was going to be it, right? I mean, we knew the North was going to be a powerhouse, but it seems a little upside down. Wasn't it going to be the Lions, the Vikings, the Packers, and the Bears in that order, and it's completely reversed?
Yeah, definitely been a little upside down. Bus and I think you as well, Al, we're kind of low on the Bears coming into the year, and they've proved us wrong completely, so credit to Ben Johnson there. But just talent-wise, right, top to bottom, rosters, quarterbacks, everything in the NFC North is very stacked.
Yeah. Now, give me your opinion, Spinny, on the season then as it all. It's interesting we are over 500 because it didn't have that feel of a 9-win team. 9 wins can sometimes get you in the playoffs.
It's just annoying, I guess, Al. I think that, obviously we all applauded this decision going into the year, but just looking back now, hindsight, the Sam Darnold decision was atrocious. Like we would probably have 13 or 14 wins with Sam Darnold and competent quarterback play. I guess that was the frustrating part about this year for me is it just felt like it was wasted. Like we haven't had a defense that good in a minute. We haven't, had wide receiver production like that. It's just so much talent to waste based on one position underachieving. And I guess that's where I get frustrated with the year.
And even in that spin, let's go down the road a little ways. Did we find anything out? So you bring a kid in, he's going to have a rough first year. What, he played 10 games?
That's exactly it, Alan. Like, especially with rookies, you want to see that, like, little bits of, like, holy crap, this guy could be good, right? Yeah. And I felt like there just wasn't that many of those moments. Like, a couple of fourth quarters early in the year, right? But there just wasn't enough moments of that overall. And then on top of it, like, the availability piece of a small, not quite uber athletic quarterback, which was already in question, I think we have more questions about now than we did walking in.
Absolutely. Boss, let me throw one at you because we can talk a little bit about it. Had the Minnesota Vikings actually, remember the Bears game? I don't know when it was, back in end of November. Bears game, we're up with less than a minute to play. We kick the ball off, and they have that horrendous run back on us because 3 guys were playing hero ball instead of staying in their lanes. And the Bears beat us by 2 points. Had we won that ball game, the last game against the Packers would have meant something because if we win, which we did, we were in the playoffs and the Pack isn't. We would then be playing the Bears this weekend, having beaten them twice in the season. It would have been a great game last Sunday, and this Sunday would have been, our Saturday would have been just fantastic. And it's that one play. Does football come down to one play? And I know we can probably find others. Your thoughts on that? That one play and the difference would have made in the Viking season.
It's insane. Yeah, that would have put us at least 10 wins. If everything else, obviously, there's a lot of things that would have had to still happen. But if every result stayed the same, Lions still beat the Bears this past week. We still beat the Packers. We would have been the 3 seed. How does that make any sense? Like, that's just crazy to think about, honestly. And I guess the question I want to ask you guys is, JJ, yeah, I agree. He was not very good this year at all, but he still had a winning record. He was 6-4 this year. So what do we do? Do we give him another chance? Because even with how bad he was, to go 6-4, I feel like that's kind of impressive with how mediocre his play was.
You jump in, Spinny. I'll answer after.
Yeah, I think it's hard. Like, you have to give him another year probably, especially given we won those last 5 games and we don't really have a high quarterback pickable draft pick. And I think that next year, not this coming year, but a year and a half from now's draft, we'll have a lot better quarterbacks in it as well. So I think given both of those things, it's probably the case that McCarthy walks in day one as our starter next year.
I would 100% agree. We have to give him some more time. Only in that, if we dumped him now, positive record, what's the best game he had? 250 yards, something like that. If they cut him now and said, you're not our guy, you're going to be backup boy, it makes both KOC and the GM look like fools for picking him. He's a number 1 first-round draft choice. You keep him here. You got to find somebody that if he continues to puddle along, you can throw in there and make this horse race team. We have all we need to make this thing fly. They can't dump him because they'll look bad. They keep it up. Maybe the kid ends up being bad. I don't know, but you can't dump him because you put your whole team on that kid. The coaches can't dump him, in my opinion.
At least without another option, right? I think we saw with the Niners, like, you can have a bad draft pick in Trey Lance and they instantly pivoted to Brock Purdy and it looks great now. But I think you have to have that person to pivot to in order for that to be successful. Just a little touch, too, really quick on what we were at before about the NFL, like that kickoff. That is why I love the NFL, though, is because it truly is every play matters, every second matters, everything matters, all regular season, all playoffs. There isn't like this with the other 3 major sports where it's like regular season games, let's just stay healthy. It's like, no, you can't do that in the NFL. Every second and every regular season game matters.
Well, until you get down to last weekend. I completely agree, Spinny, because last weekend, besides the Lions game before that, these have to have been the 2 most boring football games back-to-back a Minnesota Vikings ever had to sit through. They're horrid.
It was bad. It was bad.
Let me ask you this, Bus, because you're both coaches, so maybe this will be interesting. How much do we have to find a way to keep Flores here?
Oh, absolutely. I was thinking about bringing that up, too. If we don't make him the highest paid coordinator, not just in the NFL, of potentially history, yes, exactly. Yeah. He's probably going to get a job elsewhere. I mean, there's already been a handful of coaches fired the moment the season ended. There's some enticing jobs out there, like the Falcons. They have a solid roster. They just need a better coach, right? So there's some enticing.
Speaking of that Browns coach got fired. He had 2 coaching coach of the years in his 6 years he was there.
Yeah, former Viking Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah,
Raiders, obviously they're not very good, but you got Genti, you got the number 1 pick. That could be enticing to him. So if we don't make him the highest paid coordinator of all time, he's probably gone, which will be a big loss for our defense.
Spinny, I don't know this, maybe you do. Does the coaching money come off the cap? Or is it just strictly Wolf money we can spend?
Yeah, I don't believe the coaching money comes off the cap, so it should just be straight money we can spend. It sounds like there is quite a bit of interest from Flores' side in coming back. It seems like Bus said, if we make the money right and make sure he's not losing a ton in what he could get in some of these head coaching jobs, that it seems like there's a big interest from Flores. He loves Minnesota and the family situation. So it seems like there's some big interest in him potentially coming back.
Well, wouldn't you? Because you see what's here, the base, right? If we got this quarterback that could run this thing, if we just kept Darnold, we'd be a 14-win season again. We'd be looking at a champ. These guys want rings. And I think he really wants that ring, and I think he sees there's a real shot here. You go someplace and you want to build for 4 or 5 years, maybe. I think he sees us possibly being able to get that ring if we put 1 or 2 pieces together, including a front offensive line.
I mean, just a healthy offensive line, right? Yeah. Like, I don't think our 5 starters going into the season played together more than like a game and a half. So
they said something. We had 25 different combinations for front line in 16 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right.
Shout out Donovan Jackson, though. He played through a broken wrist since week 3, and our good stud rookie guard. He only allowed 2 sacks all season. I feel like that's a tremendous job by a rookie. And It'll be a cornerstone going forward.
All right, we got to go to break, my boys. We'll be back after this. We got to talk some of your Wolves action. We'll do that next with the guys from Hard Headed Sports, Spinny and Fetty Bus.
When the stakes are high at the Minnesota Capitol, you need more than a lobbyist. You need a partner. At Momentum Advocacy, we bring nearly 90 years of combined experience in government relations, public affairs, and strategic communications. From nonprofits to national corporations, we help organizations navigate Minnesota's political landscape with integrity, insight, and results. Whether you need legislative champions or headlines, Momentum Advocacy delivers. For more, visit momentum-advocacy.com. Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol.
I want to talk to you about saving a veteran's life this holiday season by giving to the Bravo Zulu House. This year, more than 6,000 veterans have taken their lives, leaving their families devastated this Christmas. Veteran suicide can be stopped, but we must fund solutions like the Bravo Zulu House right here in Minnesota, the only all-military sober home helping veterans with PTSD. Please save a veteran's life by donating today at bravozuluhouse.org.
Amongst friends, the Al Travis Show. Nothing but talk.
And we've got them, Spinny and Fetty Bus, on with us from Hard Headed Sports. Bus will go to you because you're the basketball coach. Before we get to the Wolves themselves, the Al Travis Show jinx continues on. About 10 days ago, 15 days ago, I said that the Oklahoma City Thunder looked like they could possibly get the record for the best record of this year, as you see them playing both sides of the ball like nobody's business. In their last 10 games, 5-5. They've lost 5. They've only lost 7 all year long, like anybody's going to complain about that. But they lost to the Charlotte Hornets the other night by like 20-something points. Charlotte's a 13-win team. Bus, what happened to OKC?
It's crazy. I also was on the podcast saying that they would easily be a 70-win team. Now they could still get there, but now that doesn't even look really like a possibility. Lose by 27 to the Hornets at home. I couldn't believe my eyes last night when I was just looking at the box score. I just, there's no way they should lose that game. Obviously their shooting was horrendous. They shot 37% last night. And it's weird, right? Because they were on such a good pace without their second best player, Jalen Williams. And ever since he came back, they just, I don't know what's going on, but they just haven't been able to win. They're 6-6 in the last 12 games.
Spinny, is this a thing where you're running along thinking you can have this new, record set and be a part of that, and once you've lost a couple of games to the Spurs and you weren't going to make that, the team let down? What makes this? How does this team lose to Charlotte?
Yeah, they played really bad in that game. Obviously, efficiency-wise, they were not good. It's interesting. On top of the Al Travis show curse, we have the Adam Silver 2020s curse. Repeat champions since 2020 have not lived up to their potential in the following year. And we thought OKC was maybe going to be the exception. Maybe we're going to go back to what the NBA had been for 40 years prior to that, which was dynasties back-to-back, essentially. And it looks like that might change. So it is very interesting that way. Also, is A.J. Mitchell better than Jalen Williams? Is that the issue? Is that really what the issue is? So I don't know. It's kind of interesting what Bus was going on with the J-Dub thing.
What are your thoughts, Bus? Is that true?
I mean, I guess. I don't know where this A.J. Mitchell guy even came from, but he was killing it in J-Dub's place as a starter. And ever since, J-Dub's 17, 5, and 5. Those aren't terrible numbers by any means, but definitely a downgrade from what you're used to out of him. I mean, this is a guy that was flirting with all NBA last year, and he was first or second team all defense last year too. So I'm sure they'll figure it out. Obviously, it's a long season, and they're still 30-7. So
yeah, they're not hurting. Let me throw the Wolves at you for a second, because this is what's kind of getting me. Now they beat the Wizards, they beat the Heat, they lost to the Hawks. So I kind of I wasn't watching because I was out of town. Went back and looked at all the box scores and read up on it. I see the same thing happening here. When we win over the Wizards and the Heat, we have 5 or 6 players in double digits. When we lose to the Hawks, we got and one other guy. I think one other guy that were in double digits. If we spread the ball around, I think we can play, Bus. But when we don't, when it's the Ant show, we can lose to anybody.
Yeah, that's for sure. Definitely when it's just all the shots to Ant, it makes us a lot more beatable. But none of our woes lately have been because of Ant. He is he's playing as a first team All NBA player right now, and he might get it with all the injuries to guys like Jokic and Giannis and all these guys that might not hit 65 games. He's just been putting us on his back, honestly. 51% shooting from Anthony Edwards on almost 30 points a game. I mean, this guy continues to level up season after season. He's still only 24 years old. So ultimately, I know the Wolves, I feel like, will always be the Wolves and lose games that we shouldn't throughout the regular season. But as long as we got that kind of playoffs, we'll have a chance.
Spinny, what do you do if you have that guy in your team? If that's your team, what do you do? When you look at what Al's throwing out there, when we spread the ball around, we are a better team. I don't think that's shocking. But to take it out of his hands, this guy is an all-star. What do you do, Spinny, to level that out?
I think you just got to talk through with Ant about getting his teammates going early. I mean, that's the biggest thing, I think, is Ant can get going at any time no matter what. But some of these role players on our team need that, early, nice, easy shots, seeing stuff go in, getting them hot going early and letting them carry the load in those moments, and then Ant can take over whenever the lulls happen. And I think sometimes we try to start a little too fast with Ant, and then no one else is in rhythm, and then we can't put it together. Ant talked about this a little bit in a post-game interview last week about the game plan situation. I believe that Finch and Norrie have part of that going into the game plan, and Ant said in the post-game, when we don't follow the game plan, we lose. When we follow the game plan, we win. So I think there's a little bit of that going on as well.
All right. Now that Jokic is out with an injury, is the best player in the league Victor from the Spurs?
I think it's still probably your defending MVP, SGA. Oh, yeah. Obviously, he struggled last night, but he was due for a game. I mean, this guy's had, 100 straight 20-point games? And if Jokic doesn't hit 65 games, is definitely going to win MVP again. So I've got to give it to SGA. But Ant, this season, is for sure a top 5 player in the NBA. He has been playing at that level.
I got to fly, guys. We're out of time. I appreciate you both. Spinny and Fetty Buzz, Hard Headed Sports. Pick them up wherever you get your podcast. Guys, thanks for being here. We'll see you on Thursday.
Thanks for having us.
This season, bring the whole family to